Hey everyone, welcome back to Native Speakers Channel. I'm Johnny, and I'm here with my good friend Sarah. Today, we're going to help you master one of those real-world situations that every English learner needs to handle: car maintenance talk. Whether you're taking your car to a mechanic, getting an oil change, or just discussing vehicle problems with a friend, knowing the right vocabulary and phrases is essential. Sarah and I are going to have a natural conversation about car maintenance, and we'll show you exactly how native speakers talk about these topics. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive into today's lesson. Hey Sarah, I noticed your car was making a weird noise when you pulled into the parking lot. Is everything okay with it?
Oh, you heard that too? Yeah, I've been meaning to take it to the mechanic for a while now. It's been making this strange rattling sound, especially when I accelerate. It's likely coming from under the hood.
That doesn't sound good. How long has it been making that noise?
About 2 weeks, maybe? At first I thought it was just something loose, but it's getting louder. I'm worried it might be something serious with the engine.
You should definitely get that checked out soon. Have you noticed any other issues? Like, is the car driving differently, or are there any warning lights on your dashboard?
Actually, yes. My check engine light came on yesterday. That's when I knew I couldn't put it off any longer. I also feel like the car isn't accelerating as smoothly as it used to. It kind of hesitates when I press the gas pedal.
Okay, those are definitely warning signs. The check engine light could mean a lot of different things. It might be something simple like a loose gas cap, or it could be something more serious like an issue with your oxygen sensor or catalytic converter.
See, that's what worries me. I don't know much about cars, so when mechanics start talking about all these different parts, I get confused. What's an oxygen sensor anyway?
Good question. The oxygen sensor monitors the amount of oxygen in your exhaust gases. It helps your car's computer adjust the fuel mixture for optimal performance and fuel efficiency. If it's faulty, your car might run poorly and waste gas.
That makes sense. So when I go to the mechanic, what should I tell them exactly?
Just be as specific as possible about what you've noticed. Tell them about the rattling noise, when it happens, the check engine light, and the hesitation when accelerating. The more details you give them, the easier it'll be for them to diagnose the problem.
Should I ask them to run a diagnostic test?
Absolutely. Most modern cars have an onboard computer system, and mechanics can plug in a diagnostic scanner to read the error codes. That'll give them a starting point for figuring out what's wrong. They might charge you for the diagnostic, usually around $50 to $100, but it's worth it.
Okay, that's helpful. Speaking of costs, I'm always nervous about getting ripped off at the mechanic. How do I know if they're giving me a fair price?
That's a legitimate concern. My advice is to always ask for a written estimate before they start any work. A good mechanic will explain what needs to be fixed and why, and they'll break down the costs for parts and labor. If something sounds expensive, don't be afraid to get a second opinion from another shop.
That's smart. Should I ask them to show me the old parts after they replace them?
Yes, actually. Reputable mechanics won't have a problem showing you the worn-out or broken parts. It's a good way to verify that the work actually needs to be done. Plus, it helps you learn more about your car.
When was the last time you had major work done on your car?
About 6 months ago, I had to replace my brake pads and rotors. I was hearing this awful grinding noise every time I braked, and I knew I'd waited too long to get them checked.
Oh no! Was it expensive?
It wasn't cheap, that's for sure. The whole job cost me about $600, including parts and labor. But brakes are something you absolutely cannot ignore. It's a safety issue.
How did you know it was the brakes and not something else?
Well, the grinding noise was the biggest clue. Also, I noticed that my car was taking longer to stop and the brake pedal felt spongy when I pressed it. Those are all signs of worn brake pads. If you ignore those warning signs, you can damage the rotors, which makes the repair even more expensive.
I definitely need to pay more attention to these things. What about regular maintenance? How often should I be getting my oil changed?
It depends on your car and the type of oil you use. Most manufacturers recommend changing your oil every 5,000 to 7,500 miles if you're using conventional oil. If you use synthetic oil, you can usually go longer, maybe 10,000 miles or so. But you should always check your owner's manual for the specific recommendation for your vehicle.
I think I'm overdue for an oil change too. What happens if you wait too long?
Old oil gets dirty and loses its ability to lubricate your engine properly. Over time, this can cause serious engine damage. The oil filter also gets clogged with debris, which means dirty oil is circulating through your engine. It's one of the simplest and cheapest maintenance tasks, but it's also one of the most important.
How much does an oil change usually cost?
For a basic oil change with conventional oil, you're looking at about $30 to $50. Synthetic oil changes are more expensive, usually between $70 and $100, but some places offer coupons or package deals that can bring the price down.
That's not too bad. What else should I be doing regularly to maintain my car?
Great question. Besides oil changes, you should be rotating your tires every 5,000 to 7,000 miles. This helps them wear evenly and last longer. You should also check your tire pressure monthly, especially when the seasons change, because temperature affects tire pressure.
I never check my tire pressure. How do I know what it should be?
There's usually a sticker on the driver's side door jamb that tells you the recommended tire pressure for your specific vehicle. It's measured in PSI, which stands for pounds per square inch. Most passenger cars need somewhere between 30 and 35 PSI.
And I can check that at a gas station, right?
Exactly. Most gas stations have air pumps with pressure gauges. Some are free, some charge $1 or $2. Just unscrew the cap on your tire valve, press the gauge onto the valve stem, and it'll show you the current pressure. If it's too low, add air until it reaches the recommended level.
What about other fluids? I know there's more than just oil in a car.
Right. Your car has several important fluids that need to be checked and replaced periodically. There's coolant, which keeps your engine from overheating. There's brake fluid, which is essential for your braking system. Power steering fluid helps you turn the wheel smoothly. And transmission fluid keeps your transmission running properly.
How often should those be changed?
It varies by fluid and by vehicle. Coolant is usually changed every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. Brake fluid should be changed every 2 to 3 years. Power steering fluid and transmission fluid can often last longer, but again, you should check your owner's manual for specific intervals.
This is all so much to remember. Do mechanics usually remind you about these things?
A good mechanic will perform a multi-point inspection during routine services like oil changes. They'll check fluid levels, look at your belts and hoses, inspect your brakes, and test your battery. They should give you a report of their findings and recommend any necessary services.
Speaking of batteries, how do you know when your car battery is dying?
There are several signs. Your car might be slow to start, or you might hear a clicking sound when you turn the key. Your headlights might seem dimmer than usual. Most car batteries last 3 to 5 years, depending on the climate and how often you drive. Extreme temperatures, especially heat, can shorten battery life.
Can you test a battery to see if it's still good?
Yes, most auto parts stores will test your battery for free. They use a device that measures the battery's voltage and its ability to hold a charge. If your battery is weak, they'll recommend replacing it. It's better to replace it proactively than to get stranded somewhere with a dead battery.
That happened to my friend last month. She had to get a jump start in a parking lot.
That's never fun. Do you know how to jumpstart a car?
Not really. I know you need jumper cables and another car, but I don't know the proper procedure.
It's actually pretty straightforward, but you have to do it in the right order. First, you connect the red positive cable to the positive terminal on the dead battery. Then you connect the other end of the red cable to the positive terminal on the good battery. Next, you connect the black negative cable to the negative terminal on the good battery. Finally, you connect the other end of the black cable to an unpainted metal surface on the dead car's engine away from the battery.
Why not connect it directly to the negative terminal on the dead battery?
Safety. When you make that final connection, there can be a small spark. By connecting to a ground point away from the battery, you reduce the risk of igniting any hydrogen gas that might be coming from the battery.
Wow, I had no idea. What do you do after the cables are connected?
Start the car with the good battery and let it run for a few minutes. Then try to start the dead car. Once it starts, let both cars run for a few more minutes. Then you carefully disconnect the cables in reverse order. Remove the black cable from the ground on the car that was dead, then from the good battery, then remove the red cable from the good battery, and finally from the car that was dead.
I should probably keep a set of jumper cables in my trunk, huh?
Absolutely. They're inexpensive and can really save you in an emergency. You might also consider getting a portable jump starter. They're battery packs that can jumpstart your car without needing another vehicle.
Those sound convenient. What else should I keep in my car for emergencies?
I always recommend having a basic emergency kit. Include things like a flashlight with extra batteries, a first aid kit, a blanket, some water and non-perishable snacks, and a phone charger. In winter, add an ice scraper and some kitty litter or sand in case you get stuck in snow or ice.
That's a good idea. I should put one of those together. Getting back to maintenance, what about things like spark plugs and air filters? When do those need to be replaced?
Spark plugs typically last between 30,000 and 100,000 miles, depending on the type. Standard copper spark plugs need to be replaced more often, while platinum or iridium plugs last much longer. When spark plugs wear out, you might notice rough idling, poor acceleration, or reduced fuel efficiency.
And the air filter?
The engine air filter should be replaced every 12,000 to 15,000 miles, or once a year. It's a simple and inexpensive replacement. A dirty air filter restricts airflow to your engine, which can reduce performance and fuel economy. There's also a cabin air filter that cleans the air coming into your vehicle through the vents. That should be replaced once a year or every 15,000 miles.
I don't think I've ever had my cabin air filter replaced.
A lot of people don't even know it exists. If you notice reduced airflow from your vents or a musty smell when you turn on the AC, a dirty cabin air filter might be the culprit.
This conversation has been so helpful. I feel like I know what questions to ask now when I take my car to the mechanic tomorrow.
That's great. Just remember, a good mechanic will take the time to explain things to you and won't make you feel stupid for asking questions. If someone talks down to you or pressures you into unnecessary services, find a different mechanic.
How do you find a trustworthy mechanic?
Word of mouth is usually best. Ask friends, family, and coworkers for recommendations. You can also check online reviews, but take them with a grain of salt. Look for mechanics who are certified by organizations like ASE, which stands for Automotive Service Excellence. Those certifications show that the mechanic has passed standardized tests and meets certain standards.
I'll ask around. One more thing. What about extended warranties? Are those worth buying?
That's a complicated question. Extended warranties can provide peace of mind, especially for expensive repairs, but they often come with a lot of exclusions and fine print. Many people pay for extended warranties and never use them. If you buy a reliable car and maintain it properly, you might be better off putting that warranty money into a savings account for future repairs.
That makes sense. I guess the best warranty is just taking good care of your car, right?
Exactly. Regular maintenance is always cheaper than major repairs. Keep up with your oil changes, pay attention to warning signs, and don't ignore unusual noises or smells. Your car will last much longer and give you fewer headaches.
Thanks so much, Johnny. I feel so much more confident about dealing with car stuff now. I'm going to call the mechanic right after we finish filming and schedule an appointment.
That's the spirit. And hey, after you get your car fixed, maybe we can go for a drive and it'll actually be quiet for once.
I'll hold you to that. Thanks again for all the advice.
Anytime. And to everyone watching, I hope this conversation helped you feel more comfortable talking about car maintenance in English. Remember, learning these practical, everyday topics are just as important as studying grammar and vocabulary from textbooks. Real-world English is what will help you communicate effectively in your daily life.
Absolutely. Don't be intimidated by technical terms. The more you learn about your car, the more confident you'll feel when talking to mechanics or even just chatting with friends about vehicle problems.
Well said. Thanks for joining us today on Native Speakers Channel. If you found this lesson helpful, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment letting us know what topics you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, keep practicing your English, and we'll see you in the next lesson.
See you next time, everyone. Take care.